Thank you, Vritvi, for having me here. It's always a pleasure to interact with you.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was really grateful of you to take out time from your busy schedule and, give me some time so that we could just, collab and inspire some people out there.
I hope by the end of this conversation there is someone out there who gives you a call and can say, you know what, this lady called me up and there is something which I've changed. I think I hope that thing takes place.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me, Sonia, like, how has it been? See, I'll tell you what, personally speaking, Forbes 30 under 30 is a big deal, is very huge in terms of achievement for people who have started from scratch for sure, and then reaching there before you hit the mark of, that age. So yeah, tell me how that journey has been and from where did you start and where do you stand today and how you feel about yourself today.
Okay. So the journey for any entrepreneur is never going to be easy. If it's easy, then it's not a journey for sure. So
Definitely.
I was into the corporate world quite settled. I just gave my one interview after my studies and I got selected, and that was my dream company any which ways.
Hmm.
So I got in there happy, going on with my life. And then suddenly I felt, you know what, why don't I start something of my own? It started off with a small startup. I started off building it up. I had my father was there during that time, and I remember him saying it always. You know what? You are my dark horse. I'm so sorry for
Wow.
my throat, and you will always remain that. Go ahead, do it whatever you want, even if you feel it's okay, Baba. You're just 24. Why you're worrying? You still have so much life left. And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's try it. My first startup was a failure. It was not something like I didn't had passion to do it or something like that. Way everything was correct. Maybe that timing of that during that period was wrong. It didn't work out. We used to have a startup wherein we used to talk to the retailers more. I used to go for the sales for 100 rupees subscription that time, and so much humiliation, so much insults during that period of time, because women nowadays, even during that time, I think 6 years back, women were being considered, you need to mark women only on these aspects. One was marriage, one was pregnancy, and the other was relationships. I think women are much more beyond it. Or they used to have a sympathy or empathy card with you. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
nothing beyond it. And there were few people who were genuinely trying to help you, but there were hundreds of people who were trying to bring you down in some form or
Yeah,
the other.
yeah, yeah.
It didn't work out. In that time also, I and my husband, we were into a part of the same whole project. We left that thing. We realized that this thing is not going to work. We didn't give up. We started again. We built a different company altogether called NewsReach. NewsReach is basically, what we do is we democratize the complete content ecosystem. This is the
Hmm.
first of its kind wherein content creators will be able to license their own content.
Oh,
So
wow.
we started off with this project, and initial days were bad. I think the first 100 days of my starting up, every day crying, you know what, it's not happening.
Ask me.
Why, what? Can we just go back, let it be, and let the things be
Yeah,
as normal as possible? And
yeah,
suddenly you get a thought, and you get why I started off this thing. And the time you get clicked that you feel like, नहीं अभी ये
yeah.
करना ही है, इसको करना ही है और इसको लेके जाना है आगे तक. Every business will have a pivot in your life. You need to understand, you need to change with the system. You can't have,
Yeah.
we had a certain planning. This is what we are going to do in the news reach. We have those architectures
Hmm.
set for it. But
Hmm.
when we realize, when once you are into the project, you realize there are few changes which you need to do it according to the market time. And if you learn that agility to adopt the changes in your life,
Yeah.
I think then any business is successful. The second mistake, what I did and which I learned from my first startup was I used to never delegate. I used to be like, I know everything. I mean, I'll manage of everything. You do it from scratch till everything. I won't empower my team members. Now
Hmm.
I've learned, you know what? Let the team do it. Let them be empowered. Let them fall for
Yeah.
10 times. Let them be
Yeah.
more smarter than you. I have like so many interns out here, and look at the age must be 20 to 21 hardly. Look at the amount of they bring fresh ideas on the table,
They
and
will
it's
fresh ideas.
amazing. It's
True.
so much to learn from these people. they don't have any experience of the corporate world. They don't have, when they had interviews, they're like, how you selected me? And I'm like, you know what? There is just this brain I needed. They don't know how to talk into the corporate culture or anything of these
Yeah.
sort. But the only thing what they know is that putting out the fresh minds, putting out their energy. So we have these interns who come up with the fresh minds, who come up with the fresh ideas,
Hmm.
and these people right now are empowered. They are fully, like, supposedly I leave the company for 10 days, I know there are people who are going to manage off well because I have to make second line of leadership to these people.
True.
Now I started delegating. Now I started, what, make it, give it to me, because I will get time to think for other aspects of the business, to make
Correct.
strategies, to make other aspects, to meet new people.
Correct.
I think that mistake which I made it prior, those mistakes I've learned it during this time.
Same,
And
same.
this,
Even I used to
yeah,
do that, and I used to be like, नहीं नहीं ये मैं कर सकती हूँ, इसके लिए हार करने की क्या
हाँ,
जरूरत
मतलब
है,
प्रिंट से
और
लेके काम ले लो, सब
हाँ
तुम्हें
हाँ
सब आता
सब
है
कुछ,
सब करने
सब
को.
कुछ. But then,
And
now later on, even I also realized कि नहीं, this is not the correct way. And today, even if they come to me with, अरे मैम ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, so I always tell that don't come to me with problems, come to me with solutions so that, we can
exactly,
sit down and we can brainstorm around what can be done. Not that, कि,
yeah,
आप सारा सब कुछ मेरे सर पे डाल दो, because as entrepreneurs, we already have so much going on, on our heads.
exactly. So now you must have seen, once you started approaching this way, what
Yeah,
come with the solution. They actually think it that way. They actually come out with something, what, these are the two, three possibilities. They don't take a decision, but they come out with
yeah,
the possibilities,
yeah,
which makes something work. So
yeah.
that is something which is, we need to understand and we need to start delegating. And not in
Yeah.
fact in professional life, it's just also in personal life. Start delegating
Personal.
people. That's the one thing which needs to be done.
Yeah. No, but see, I understand. You also mentioned that about the rejection part, right? So I am a big believer of that whatever I am today is because of the rejections that I faced in the initial 5, 6 years or the last 10 years, and these rejections are
Hmm.
everywhere, not just like in the outside world, but it starts from personal experiences, from family, or from within friends, or whatsoever. Like
Hmm.
I had very strong rejections from all aspects of life. But then when a woman goes out there and when we talk and when we say that okay, no, we mean business, we are here to work, right? So how was that different for you than it was different for your husband when you started like NewsReach and all?
So in this journey, what was happened was we both are into the same ship right now.
Yeah,
So the trouble, when the trouble comes, you both have to face. First of all, we are married, so
yeah,
then the trouble is much more. If you are not married and you are in the individual families, I think things are much different out there. But I was recently married during that time. I didn't had my house to stay. We were on
yeah,
rent, and I used to be like, you know what, my friends are all rented. If I would have been in this job, I would have earned this much, and we would have taken a place
yeah,
by now. And
yeah.
I used to be like, no, you know what, let's do it, let's make it. And every time I'm giving up, he's coming up with something, what, no, remember, why we started? And then it's something like, and when he gives up, then I give him that energy. I think that is something which is happening
Definitely.
between us. That is
Yeah.
something which is very beautiful. And we know each other from last 7 years, so we know when the energy, when he goes down, and it's very rare when he goes down. My case is much more when I go down, I get pissed off, and I'm like, no, 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 kind of thing. So that energy comes from them. I have lucky enough to that my parents are very much supportive, very, very, very much. I don't think so. I think I'm way too blessed when it comes to the parents part. And I'm
Yeah.
only daughter. So they have a feeling, what? So you're not wasting on something like you're not going on pubs. You don't waste on such
Yeah.
kind of. You don't
True.
waste on drinks. You don't waste on such useless stuff. You are investing on
True.
your business. And if this
Yeah.
amount goes, we really don't have any issues. Please go ahead, live your life. Because if you don't do it
That's
right now,
that's
when are
very
you
good
going to do
inspiration.
it?
True. That's a very good
That is
inspiration
beautiful.
for the viewers,
Yeah,
whoever
and
are watching this. Please take some inspiration from her parents. That okay, नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता है कि लड़की है तो हम क्यों करें, वो अपना देखेगी, जब घर जाएगी अपने तब देखेगी and all that. No, ऐसा
yeah.
भी होता है, and it's very beautiful. Lucky you.
That is there.
Yeah,
And there are extended families which don't
yeah,
support you. There are people who don't support you. So
true.
now I've realized, and during that time I realized there are certain people which matter to me. Rest, it
Yeah.
doesn't. I listen to them. I never back answer them by saying I'm giving my side of explanation. Never try to say them, you know what, this has come up. The people till now, many ones say, why you have started your own. And I never make it a point of saying, what, can you please
Yeah.
Google it and just check it. I don't feel like, I think my success would be an answer when they search it themselves on Google and they come
True.
back to me, not by me merely saying it about it and going forward. Many of
Yeah.
my school friends still doesn't know what I'm doing it, and now when they Google it, and I received a call just a day yesterday from a school
Mm.
friend of mine, like almost 12 years we were together, and then
Mm.
we were not in much in touch. And she
Mm.
called me up and she searched me on LinkedIn. She's like, you know what? You have been so great enough. I was not knowing. I was like, yeah, good, you saw it. And I feel good because someone has seen it and then come back to
Yeah.
me rather than me
True.
just going
Posting
blabbering about
about it.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so
True.
that is something which, and that small parts, that I feel, that success is coming. You know what? A publisher calls me up and he says, what a difference you have created. My earning from zero has reached to one, and it's all because of music. I think that satisfaction, what you get, that is something which is priceless.
It's
And the
amazing.
amount of possessions what you hold at the end, I mean, it doesn't matter at one point of time.
Correct.
These small changes, because life is going to be very small, and people are going to
Yeah.
remember for the changes what you're going to bring into the
Changes
society.
human. Correct, correct. So,
One
when
small,
I wanted to start public speaking also, that was also like because of my core interest, that, I'm very good with
Mhm,
speaking, and, I wanted to become an author and, do this, whatever I'm doing today, right? But then
mhm,
this was not like a sudden dream that, it popped out of nowhere that, हाँ, मुझे ये करना है, ऐसे नहीं था, हमेशा से करना था. But the
mhm,
core reason, like one of my, I think teachers used to say in school, back in school, that
mhm,
even if with your knowledge, if at all you can inspire just one person in the entire world, right?
yeah.
Even that is much more than enough. And people live for inspiration. People look out for inspiration. It's not that कि नहीं सबको सबको ये नहीं करना होता कि हाँ बस मुझे क्या पैसे कमाने हैं जिंदगी जीनी है blah 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 and then you know go to heaven.
Mhm,
Basic तो ये रहने ही वाला है. But then, what is
mhm.
life without dreams? What is life without looking at each other, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I,
So
I
I
think
think that is
I
the reason
agree with
also
that.
for
And even
achievement.
I'm not someone who wants I do have certain requirements in life, but it's
Of
not
course.
something wherein I have those I have minute material stuff. At least I have minute stuff, and my husband is very proud of that. But the small differences which and I think there is still left, I mean, there's something
Yeah.
which even when I say it, I'm like, you know what, this is pending, that is pending. That fear is there. There is fear of missing out. Maybe I should not run out of this race. There is
Yeah.
anxiety
Yeah.
which comes. There's a lot of pressure, and we have seen, the lovely ladies out there who have broken the ceiling. Maybe from Ghazal from Mama Earth, or be it
Yeah.
from My Glam. These people have done remarkable things, and they have set the records quite high. And I think we
All
need to
right.
achieve those things. We still are, I mean, we're much more lacking behind these people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then when you talk about FOMO, you tell me like, how do you differentiate that? Because trust me, all successful people, all entrepreneurs, small or big, everybody has that FOMO, of like,
Mhm.
missing out or अरे यार इतना सब कुछ हो रहा है देखो दुनिया आगे जा रही है हम पीछे रह रहे हैं. ये मेरे साथ
Mhm.
भी होता है आज तक होता है. Right? आपके साथ भी होता है like you have mentioned it, right? But
Absolutely.
then how do you
Yes.
differentiate it like, okay, no, like this is my pace, this is my path, and I cannot compare it. वो एक second thought होता है, but first thought जो होता है कि वो अरे no, everything is going ahead and I'm still stuck there. So how you differentiate between that FOMO and your set of goals that you want to achieve?
So I mean, this is what I have started doing it recently. Is like, whatever you do in your life, do it in the highest form. Be it the smallest of things. So today morning, if I went for an exercise, make sure I have the best exercise so far. If I'm giving an interview right now, before starting of the interview, I just said it to myself. You know what? This is going to be one of the best interviews I've given. Make sure whatever it is, optimizing your potential, do it in the highest form. I think once we start doing that, automatically that fear goes out, because you know what, you have given your best that time, and then you
Yeah,
don't have that fear coming and roping it. But yes, thanks to LinkedIn, wherein it brings us back to that FOMO world, wherein we feel, what, there is a lot to do it. But whatever, the smallest of smallest tasks, be it right now the situation, what you see of the circuit, I
Right,
thought handle it in the beautiful. My whole other offices, I mean, just to say, the whole nearby offices, they all vacated the office, they all went down. I said that you need to understand the problem. It was like off the ACs and you still can work. My whole staff is working, but the other offices are all closed down. They went inside. I mean, you need to understand. You need to understand the situation. Do it in the best way, wherein you can handle the situation very beautifully out there. And I think that is working. And then you don't have the FOMO thing in you because you know what you did during that time was the highest. What was the best thing what you did? You kept it into the highest order. So that fear doesn't come in, that it doesn't rope in inside you. I think that is
right.
something which is helping me these days. I hope it helps others too on this.
True, true, true. No, because FOMO is there and it takes a lot of self-work, self-realization to, to calm down that energy and then get ahead into that. But yeah, we are obviously like when we talk about rat race also, right? So, for people like you and me, we have chosen entrepreneurship only so that
Hmm.
we don't need to be a part of that rat race, right? But जब हम यहाँ आते हैं तो यहाँ आके पता चलता है कि यहाँ एक अलग ही एक रेस चल रही है. But
Hmm.
it's just the only difference is that कि यहाँ हम हमारे हिसाब से हम अपनी स्पीड के हिसाब से रेस कर सकते हैं,
Yes, yes,
है ना?
yes. That's true.
Right. So when we talk about ambitions over here, right? So most of the times, what happens is your own core ambitions get lost in the rat race, right? So how are you like
Hmm.
coping up with it? Like say for example, like मेरी book का जो character है Rivan, right?
Hmm.
He is like
Hmm.
so ambitious that he forgets the difference between the right and the wrong, right? He is not
Hmm.
in the rat race. He is in his own race. He wants to build a kingdom out of nothing, but he knows that he is going to achieve that thing someday or the other, right? But
Hmm.
when we connect these things to real life also, right? So be it man or be it a woman, journeys are
Hmm.
very different. ऐसे नहीं कि difficulties नहीं होती है, difficulties दोनों में भी होती है, अपने अपने
Hmm.
तरीके से होती है, right? But then
Hmm.
differentiating between being extremely ambitious and being like balanced out, apart from being into the rat race and finding that balance, how have you been able to cope up with it?
So your book Blinded by Ambition, I think
Yeah,
there is two sides, wherein they show the angelic and the
yeah,
devil side, and it's being
yeah,
shown how you're planning to balance it out. I
yeah.
think the balancing is the most difficult chapter, and you can never do it. What needs to be done is in that set of frame of mind and that particular requirement. You require one thing. You supposedly you require career to be at 51, relationship to be at 49. One will
Hmm.
be at a higher notch and that needs to be given a priority. Maybe in some other situation there is some different thing. The family needs to be given utmost importance and not this thing. So every situation requires wherein you are going to jungle, you are going to struggle it, place it in the right order, and then try to do it, and then try and show the world, what now I'm balancing, which you're not balancing. You're just prioritizing the things according to your set of, that frame of mindset, what it required. Maybe 4 years back, it was my career
Yeah,
which was being given utmost importance. But there was a certain point of time wherein my relationships were given much more importance. And the career was given not a complete set away, but a little step behind because things
hmm.
were moving fine. This I started delegating the stuff. I wanted to just see whether the things are going fine or not, take the updates from these people. So you need to do that way. I think you need to channelize it that way. I think then it's not a big trouble wherein we are finding it difficult to balance out the things.
Hmm. Yeah, also, and the part that where you told me that when we had the conversation earlier, where you told me that during COVID, like how it was like a mental block कि नहीं सारा काम सिर्फ मुंबई में होता है because Mumbai is everything, and then how you
Yes.
shifted into Ahmedabad and how things are much better over there also, right? So please
Yeah.
tell me
So,
about that also.
yeah, so I'm basically from Mumbai, Maharashtra. I know Marathi like completely in and out. Been for 25 years. A love of Mumbai is there inside me. Suddenly, during the COVID period, I and my husband, we had a small office here. We had a small tech team here which was working. So my husband started coming here quite often, and he was telling me, what, यहाँ पे तो कुछ नहीं है. There's not so much of COVID which is happening. There are people who are working. And I said, Mumbai is completely shut down. There's no one coming. I can't ask anyone to come. They have so much fear of COVID, which was reasonable. I'm not saying it's not reasonable, but that situation was such, and you can't do
Yeah.
anything because we started off business during COVID period. And I traveled by road here in Gujarat. I entered to Gujarat and I see every stall, every damn stall of pani puri, every small shop. People are enjoying, people are having fun, and it's a normal life what they're living. I was shocked. We started getting into corporates, and we saw that here people are ready to join the organization. People are ready to work. People are with all the precautions. Precaution. I had COVID 2 times. In fact, all the 3 times I had COVID. One time I didn't check it, but I felt that there is something which is there.
Yeah.
I had the
Yeah.
COVID because obviously you're going out, you are going to get it through it. With all the
Yeah.
precautions being into place, we made sure we started off here, we expanded our team here, and we saw the businesses growing here. And people have a taboo that places like Jaipur, Indore, Ahmedabad, these places are not for the startups. The places like just the Bangalore and just the Mumbai, such places are the startups. Trust me, these the tier two cities are building up. You get one of best resources, wherein you can execute. My travel times, I think we have heard the stories, what people travel in Bangalore and they get stuck in traffic for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Even the same happened in Mumbai with me, 1.5 hour of traveling, and then my energy gets down because the human brain works only for 5 hours, which is productive. This is scientifically
True.
proven.
True
So if
this.
you are spending your 1.5 hour in your journey, what energy are you giving back to your career? It's nothing, absolutely. I have my house and my office 4 minutes away by road. My 12 hours are in office. I think about this thing and I still have all the energy left by the end of the day. I still give my, once I go home back at 10 o'clock, I make sure half an hour I'm sitting with my parents having a conversation with these people. All the energy left. Whereas in that situation prior in Mumbai, I used to be so drained off because of my journey. By the time I come, I'm like,
Because of
nahi,
the
baba, bas,
travel
I'll
thing.
talk
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
We talk on weekends. This thing used to happen. Now I'm enjoying every part of it, every part of it. So I think we need to remove that taboo. You know what? Tier two cities are not meant for startups. Tier two cities are meant for startups, and at least till Series A, till the time of funding, it's absolutely fine. There is no hurdle. Absolutely, it's much more
Maybe it's
beautiful out
just
here.
that a mental block that we all carry that, Mumbai is a city of dreams and, only things happen only in Mumbai because even I had that for a
Yes,
longer period of time. It's only
yes,
after COVID when, everything was shut and we had to sit inside the houses. Now I don't feel the need of an office, though do feel the need of a studio, but then it's fine, अभी वो कहीं से भी हो सकता है, right? We like the connectivity is
exactly,
so easy now, right? But
exactly.
still, ऐसा होता है like the part of being very ambitious also comes with having certain mental blocks also that we have people
Hmm.
today sitting in 2 tier 3 tier cities and then or
Hmm.
from the urban side from the rural sides also not the urban the rural
Hmm.
sides also
Hmm.
they're doing amazingly well for themselves they're just showcasing their talent and they're doing amazingly well for themselves but it's just
Absolutely.
that
It's just
the
the
mental
passion
block.
what you need, and the rest, everything seems to be fine at the end of the day. Just the passion, what, this is the goal, and this is what you have to achieve it. And then automatically, things start favoring in your end.
Yeah, yeah. But also, you tell me, like you said, your parents have shifted with you only to be with you because
Yes.
you were not able to do that. So, just imagine if every, entrepreneurs or every working person's parents have that thing for them that okay ठीक है you're doing your best you're not able to do any more like we will also stretch ourselves a little bit and then we can have that kind of a nice bonding so maybe I feel that balance जिस balance की जो हम बात कर रहे हैं ना वो सिर्फ हमसे नहीं आता है वो
Mm-hmm.
हमसे जुड़े हुए सारे लोगों से आता है
Tableau, yes. Absolutely. It absolutely holds true. I am the only daughter, so I always have a fear, what, who's going to look after my parents because I'm,
yeah
work here. I'm not there besides them. I'm far off from Mumbai and Ahmedabad. It's 8 hours
yeah
journey out there. So who's going to look? And what's sometimes a small health issues creates a trouble in your life and you start pondering on it every often. So that
yeah
fear is there. But I am being very blessed enough that my husband is being very kind enough and he's like, he has that rapport and when he's like, what, be with us. We love to be with you. Please be here. Please don't worry. And when they go, he starts crying also, and I mean, I'm being blessed overall as a family, and I wish, not in this life. I mean, all the lives, whatever I get the
Alright.
same family, the same
Same
husband.
people.
I don't want any changes in my life. I think I am being blessed that way. I mean, these people have made my things much more simpler, wherein they are like, what you concentrate on, what you have to do it. And I think parents need to understand too. If it's a failure, it's absolutely fine as long as your child is in the right direction. If it's
Yeah.
not going in the wrong direction, then there's something which you need to worry
Irrespective
on. But if
of
it's in
gender.
the right, exactly, it's in the right direction. You are working on something which you want to make the things right. Support them.
Yeah.
My father used to be in my sales pitch. He used to call 300 numbers in my initial days, sit with me in my
Wow.
office and make the calling and give me the customers who are really interested because we didn't have sales team during that time.
Of course
So
not.
all the calls, 300 calls were being done by him. Until now, you won't believe, at times there are few of the publishers who still call to them and they are telling, what, we need to talk to you because you are of certain age and we love talking to you. I seriously, he still
Literally.
gets certain sweets from the publishers, because of the rapport what he had. And he told me, that time also, create a difference. Understand, create a difference, Sonia, in someone's life. Make a difference in publisher. Make their lives better. They'll be thankful for you for the whole life. I think that
Yeah.
is what we need to do it.
That's so wonderful of your father to inculcate that kind of value and that repetitively telling you that, okay, do this, don't do this.
Yes,
It's like I have got one good teaching from my father is that, whatever you do in your life, always make sure you maintain good relationships with everyone. So even if that
exactly.
person has done bad to you or not being so nice to you, but you maintain that cordial kind of side with them also. And it really helps. So I feel like
Mm.
parents का भले पूरा contribution ना हो, भले थोड़ा बहुत खिटपिट होती है, सबकी होती है. But
होने
certain
वाली.
teachings, yeah, certain teachings here and there, they really teach you for life.
Yeah. And every relation is going to go through that thing, be it brother, sister, be it father, mother, be it
Yeah,
everyone which is going through. So that is, it's just like we need to understand, we need to take the good part of it, learn from
yeah.
it, grow from it, and leave the rest part because everyone has a bad side in them, right? Even though you
True.
have, even I have. So everyone has to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have anything that you feel like a quote or something which you have stuck to or which you believe truly throughout your journey that has helped you, would like to share with our viewers, that would be really great. Viewers and listeners.
So the thing is, what you need to do is this is a general common balance which you need to follow is break into the smallest part. This is the thing. So, for example, set a high ambitious goal. What people which they marvel at. Set them, break into the smallest part, and do minute changes in your life to achieve that audit in that particular. So, just to give you an example, supposedly I had a New Year resolution last year that I want to read 5 books in a year. I used to not be an avid reader, and then I had a resolution. You know what? I need to read 5 books in a year. And when I started off, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be really difficult. So what I did is like I took that thing, broke into the smallest part. I said, I'm going to read one word at a time, not much, one word, and I'm going to close the book. That's it.
Yeah.
One word took one line took one sentence, one paragraph, one chapter. In fact, at times the whole book at times. And you
So
need to
basically
break it. You need to
compounding
just set
effect.
a
Yeah.
smallest goal. Yeah, the smallest goal. And this is applicable in all your cases. In your professional life, this is what I had a certain goal of Forbes ka thing. Break into the smallest part. Try to achieve those things by going it one step at a time, and you will be able to achieve it. It's not something you won't be able to achieve it.
Rocket
I think
science. Yeah.
that is something I think we need to do it. We need to apply it in our lives. Just the small, minute changes. I mean, just to give you an example, I came in Gujarat and I was not knowing Gujarati language. I thought I would never learn Gujarati language, even if my husband is a Gujarati. What I did was from my music player, I removed all my music, started uploading lessons of Gujarati. So by default, instead of music while traveling, I have to listen this Gujarati thing. It was just for 10 minutes in a day. 10 minutes went on for huge hours during Sunday. I started enjoying it. And by the end of this year, I'm going to be, I think, full pro in Gujarati language. I think that's
Wow.
what we need to do. Just small, minute changes in your daily lifestyle. Just 10 minutes of changes because I don't have any special talent or skill. I am not
Yeah.
blessed with that.
Yeah.
Nor
And
I
we all
have
have 24
something.
hours.
Yeah, we just have 24 hours. So what you can do is just a small, minute change in your daily lifestyle, and you see a huge, remarkable difference by the end of the year, by the end of the day, by the end of the month, whatever
Whatever
it is.
timeline, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is something I think we need to put it in place, and I think that is something which we all need to learn it also.
That's a really great piece of advice, Sonia. I'm sure the viewers have taken a lot from this episode.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, yeah, right from handling, learning to handle rejections and how it's not just a dreamland that, oh, I have a startup and the real hard work is there on field, right?
Yes.
And how your parents can also contribute and what parents should also take from this, right? And this is what my end goal was, with the book also, or with these podcasts
Mm.
or Amazon series also. My end goal was that not just the youngsters, but the entire family, the parents, the relatives, they all could take something or the other from these episodes and from these audio pieces also.
Yes.
Right. So thank
Absolutely.
you so much, Sonia, for being there,
Thank you so much.
for shelling out your valuable time and
Thank you. Thank you.
inspiring people out here also.
I hope I do. I hope you get calls after this, and I think that is something which I'll be very glad enough. The feedback is something which I wanted. I hope I gave the best out there. I hope I did my part very well, and I want the feedback. I want to learn, and it's something which, because even I am in the learning stage. It's not something I've reached a
Definitely,
certain point wherein
definitely. And I think we should do one more episode like this. Thank you
done.
so much,
Thank
Sonia.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
Riti, for having me. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Oh, wait, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Subscribe now.